Good evening, everybody. If you could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance. Let the record show that all board members are present and in attendance. I do want to pass along condolences to Dr. Romanelli, who's not here tonight. He is mourning the loss of his mother. So as a district, as an administration, as a school board, and a school community, we do offer our deepest condolences to Dr. Romanelli and his family. With that being said, we are going to postpone the announcements of the West Islip District Emergency Response Plan and the discussion on the district goals and objectives for 24-25 until the October board meeting. With that being said, I also at this time would like to ask for a moment of silence as we pause to remember the tragic events of September 11, 2001. As we sit in silence, let us honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost and the countless others who were affected by this day of terror and heartbreak. We can reflect on the bravery of the first responders, the resilience of communities, and the enduring spirit and unity that emerged in the face of adversity. May this moment serve as a reminder of the importance of compassion, understanding, and the pursuit of peace in our world. Thank you. Okay, at this time I would like to ask if there is anyone here from the public who would like to speak on an agenda item. I do not have any cards, so we're going to move forward with that. Can I have a motion, please, needed to approve the minutes of the August 27th, 2027 planning session? Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're going to move into personnel. Mr. Cameron?
Thank you, Mr. Tussey. I'd like to offer a consent agenda for all items T1 through the end, through other, with the exception I'd like to remove T4 and TA3, if I may.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to request a motion for item T4 as listed in your agenda for the retirement of Nicole Cagno-Agarame. She has been our one of our elementary math coaches, and after 26 and a half years to the district, she has decided that she is going to be retiring at the end of the month, and we'd like to wish Nicole an amazing, happy retirement. And she has amazing plans for traveling and doing lots of fun things, so I'd like to wish Nicole her best. If I could ask for a motion for Nicole's retirement, please.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
And last item is item TA3, the retirement of Linda Flandina. Linda is retiring after 25 years of service to the students of West Islip, and Linda was also the president of the teaching assistant chapter. And Linda has been a great asset. Lots of fun stories with Linda over my 1 year with her, and she's sorely going to be missed. And as she said to me the other day when I saw her, it was a difficult decision because it was truly the kids that she loved every single day. So if I could request a motion for the retirement of Linda Flandina at item TA3.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Cameron. Curriculum update, Mrs. Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. Tussey. Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone back to a new school year. We had a great opening of school. We kicked off at the end of August with 3 days of new teacher orientation, where we acclimated our new teachers to the district. We then had 2 great superintendent's conference days. Dr. Romanelli gave a keynote speech that centered around human connections, and that's something that we're going to be spending some time focusing on throughout the current school year. I would like to thank the administrative team, the teachers, the staff, the parents, and the students for really a tremendously wonderful opening. We've had a great first week of school. The weather has been cooperating. Our classrooms are hustling and bustling, so thank you very much for a great opening. Our electronic device policy that we are implementing for the first time is going well. I would again like to extend my thanks to all of our stakeholders, especially our parents and our students. for being supportive of the initiation of this program. We are finding more and more with current research the impact that electronic devices has not only on students but as society as a whole. Next week we are going to be sending information out to the district for a district-wide book talk entitled The Anxious Generation. So we're going to be encouraging parents, students, staff to take part in that book talk. I did read the book. There's some very relevant and telling information in it. So once again, that information is forthcoming next week, but we appreciate everyone's support of the electronic device policy. On October 9th, a flyer went home last week in regard to a literacy forum that will take place at West Isaac High School on October 9th, at 7 p.m. It will focus around the science of reading and the multi-sensory instructional practices that we utilize in our Tier 1 instruction at the primary level. It will also go into the interventions that we utilize at the Tier 2 and Tier 3 levels for those struggling readers. There will be a panel discussion that consists of reading specialists, classroom teachers, and administrators. So we certainly invite everyone to come on out on October 9th to the high school auditorium at 7 p.m. for that event. The district is continuing to partner this year with EF Tours to provide travel abroad learning experiences for our high school students. Last year we had students travel to Belize, Italy, and Greece. The trips for the current school year include Costa Rica, Spain, and Portugal, and we have some great trips lined up for the 25-26 school year to locations such as the Galapagos Islands, Barcelona and Madrid, and also Japan. So we're very fortunate to have this partnership with EF Tours and to have faculty and staff members who are willing to take our students on these amazing learning experiences. Numerous committees will convene throughout the school year to discuss important issues related to curriculum and instruction. There are a few that I would like to highlight this evening. The Attendance Policy Review Committee will start meeting in 2 weeks. We're going to be reviewing the current attendance policy, sending out surveys for feedback to faculty, staff, students, and parents. And we'll be looking to revise the policy if there are any aspects of it that we feel can be improved upon. We will also continue with our profile of graduate work. Last year, what we did was we met as a committee and we came up with broad activities at the different grade levels that could help support our students in gaining these attributes as they progress throughout the grade levels. And this year, our subject area directors will be working on specific activities with their departments that can be done in each of the subject areas to support the students gaining those attributes. We will also be meeting with an elementary literacy review committee to pilot several new literacy programs that we will look to implement next September and September of 2025 K-5. So really great work ahead. Once again, thank you for a great opening start to the school year.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Morrison. Before we move into the board committee reports, I just want to turn the mic over to Mr. Bedell for a minute.
Thank you. I just wanted to add in, with Ms. Morrison talking about stuff that's going on at the beginning of the school year, that the West Side Fire Department is going to be having an open house on Sunday, October 6th, so it's a good thing to start the school year with the kids. From 11 to 3, talking about fire prevention, fire safety, what to do if there's a fire, a lot of good information for the whole family to come on down. So that's Sunday, October 6th, 11 to 3. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bedell. Let's go to our education committee with Mr. Antonello.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tussey. The Education Committee met on Tuesday, September 10th at Beach Street Library. All board members are present, in addition to Assistant Superintendent Alyssa Pilati, Assistant Superintendent Dawn Morrison, Mr. James Cameron. The meeting began with an overview of testing data by all the chairs of all the departments. There's a lot of numbers there, but some general takeaways with the numbers was that we're been consistent with previous years, and there's been a slight uptick in a few, including English Regents mastery level increasing to 79%. The social studies AAP scores are higher. So those are just a couple of highlights and nothing alarming, which is good. There are some updates, some already highlighted by Mrs. Morrison. She mentioned already the Literacy Forum on October the 9th, the formation of a mental health subcommittee, which will be dealing with issues like the impact of electronic devices. Work on profile of a graduate continues, now trying to get subject area work to more specifically narrow and fit into the profile of a graduate goals. There will be professional development on a program called BRISC for the teachers, which changes the lexile of reading for students. District equity work also continues. One thing that came out of that recently was a monthly awareness schedule. There have been changes to the extra help system and the creation of guidelines for teachers, goals to restructure extra help, including the ending of increments of time, which wasn't helpful to students. The attendance committee will be meeting on September the 23rd, and the attendance committee is going to begin to deal with the current policies of attendance. The meeting ended at 7:15 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Antonello. We'll move into finance with Mrs. Marks.
Good evening. The Finance Committee met on September 10th. All board members were present in addition to Mrs. Pilati, Mr. Cameron, and Mrs. Morrison. The meeting was called to order at 7:24 p.m. The following were presented and accepted by the committee: payroll summary for June, internal claims audit report for August, system manager audit trail for August, payroll certifications for the weeks of August 7th, August 21st, and September 4th, review of warrants, review of board agenda finance items, including approval of budget transfers, approval of a donation from Mr. Geller of 58 wind turbines and 195 blades for the West Islip High School to use, approval of surplus for Paul J. Ballou, 3,600 books from the library, and approval of the following contracts for this school year: Effective School Solutions and Kids Educational Services. Discussion items are that our external auditors, R.S. Abrams, are going to be at the audit committee meeting on October 10th at 7 p.m. to review the 2023-2024 financial statements and year-end results. The district reserve plan has been updated for reporting on 2023-2024 school year and is on the district website as of now. You just go to the district homepage, click on district, go to business office, and click on reserve plan, and you can review that. That contains information including where we're going to be allocating the excess budget. We spent approximately 98% of the 2023-2024 expenditure budget, which is right where we want to be, and the remaining fund balance will be allocated between workers' compensation, TRS subfund, and 2 capital reserves, and all that information is on that plan that I referenced. That goes over all of our reserves, including funding levels and the actual balances as of June 30th, 2024. The meeting was adjourned at 7:42 p.m. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll move to building and grounds. Mr. McCann.
Thank you, Mr. Tussey. Welcome back, everyone. The Building and Grounds Committee met on September 10th at 7 p.m. All board members were in attendance, as well as Mrs. Morrison, Mr. Karen, Mr. Pilati, James Mossy, and the BBS architects also came. The focus of the meeting really was the expansion of the pool and the update on that project. If you remember, a year ago we bid on setting out a bond to redo the entire pool area, which includes that entire building. So the architects gave us an update of where that is. They're hoping to have a submission to SED, which is the State Education Department, which has to approve the project, November of this year, the preliminary plans. That can normally take between 10 and 38 weeks to get approval. So we're looking at a third-party reviewer to expedite that process, which they think that hopefully they'll be on track for that. If that happens, we're still on track to start construction May of 2025. So once it's approved, they'll go out for competitive bids. Mrs. Pilati will work on the bonding, and we'll get the construction and all plans starting May of 2025, towards the end of this school year. The goal is to have it complete and open September of 2026, so it's one full educational year without the pool. Tim Horan and the athletics department will ensure that there's places for the teams to practice. But that right now is where we are. There's 1,000 variables that could change that, but we are in that process. So that was really the bulk of the meeting. A couple of other things that happened. First of all, I just want to say thanks to the Buildings and Grounds groups for getting the buildings ready for the opening of the schools. Everything looks wonderful. They always do an amazing job, but especially this year, it looked extra special as we opened the buildings. And one last plug is the Nacera Middle School opened on the same day that we opened our school, so we had the pleasure of touring it. It looks like a brand new environment, a brand new school there. Everything's new, so the kids are there, and just great reviews by everyone who works in that building and the students there. So there was one question that came up at the council meeting. There is a little issue with parking, but that's part of the plans to expand the parking lot there once they get approval. But again, the BOS is paying for all that. So great progress, and we'll keep everyone posted on the pool progress.
Thank you, Mr. McCann. And finally, we have Special Education Committee brought to you by Ms. Levin.
Thank you, Mr. Tussie. Good evening, everyone. The Special Education Committee met at 9 a.m. on September 11th, 2024 at District Office. The administrators present were Dawn Morrison, Jean Dowling, Gail Dougherty, and Lindsay Ednick. Board members in attendance were myself and Christina Marks. The first Special Ed Committee meeting of the year, this was the first Special Ed Committee of the school year. The committee discussed IEPs from CSE and CPSE recommendations from the respective committees. Those recommendations will be approved this evening. Extended school year programs went well. Many of our in-house staff worked the summer program, which provided continuity and seamless transitions for our students. The Special Education Department has been working hard ensuring all students have appropriate placements that will best meet their needs. The ICT program for the 7th grade is in place at Beach. The SEPTA portion of our district website, which is located under Special Education, is in the process of being updated to reflect SEPTA events and meetings for the school year, as well as the new SEPTA board members. The meeting adjourned at 10 a.m. The next Special Education Committee meeting will be on October 4th at 9 a.m. Mara D'Amico, this year's SEPTA president, joined us for the non-confidential portion of the meeting. We discussed some of the awareness days the district has identified for this year and plan to collaborate with SEPTA. SEPTA is working on bringing in a variety of speakers for this year's SEPTA meetings. There's a SEPTA-sponsored outdoor movie event Friday night featuring Hotel Transylvania. Doors open at 6:30. The movie starts at 7. All West Islip families are welcome, and there is no fee. And mark your calendars, the highly anticipated SEPTA Bowl will be April 5th. Tickets will be available later this year. Please follow West Islip SEPTA on Facebook and consider joining. The next SEPTA meeting will be September 30th at West Islip High School at 7:30. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Brown. We'll move into business items with Mrs. Plotty.
Thank you, Mr. Tussie. Good evening. May I have a motion for the approval of budget transfers 4439 and 4440 in the general fund and 4438 in the capital fund?
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the 2024-25 contracts as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the donation from Mr. Geller of small wind turbines and propeller blades for the use of the students in the West Islip High School Engineering and Technology Department valued at $116,000?
So moved.
Second. Yeah, I just want to take a moment and thank Mr. Geller for, even though he's not with us on the school board, he did put a lot of years here, and the fact that he's still thinking about us really says a lot. So I just want to personally thank him for that donation. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the surplus miscellaneous books from Paul J. Blue Elementary School?
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion, please, of approval regarding the memorandum of agreement between WIDA and the West Islip Union Free School District regarding preferred substitutes?
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion of approval, please, regarding the memorandum of agreement between Teamsters Local 237, the West Islip Union Free School District, and Employee A?
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. You can have a motion of approval, please, regarding the Board of Education, which approves the recommendations of the Special Education Committee of students as listed in the district's backup and authorizes the district to arrange for appropriate services.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Obviously, Dr. Romanelli is not here tonight, but he did ask me to just reiterate what a wonderful opening to the school year it was, and really how proud he was of the students and the staff just for the way they conducted themselves. And with that being said, I always make the joke at how positive Dr. Romanelli is, and I really think he is like a true life Ted Lasso. You know, we literally just came from his wake earlier today, and as soon as he starts talking about West Side stuff, he just beams with pride. And it's just, you know, in the face of sorrow and grief that he's going through, he can still put on a smile on his face with the district in mind. I think it says a lot about who he is. So we do, again, send our condolences to him and his family. We don't have any public cards, so it looks as if we are done for the night. Thank everybody for coming. Can I have a motion, please, to adjourn?
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.